Hey folks, it's Andrew Brown. In this video, I want to go ahead and create a couple of virtual machines and make sure that we know how to connect to them. We've already done SSH before, but we're going to do it again just to make sure that we know how to do that in a little bit different ways. So we'll go ahead and say my Linux machine. And we'll also launch a Windows machine after this Linux one, but first we'll just do this one. So I'm choosing E2. We're dropping this down to micro. Let's make our way over to security. And in here, this is where we're going to have our VM access. So down below, it says by default, when you connect to a VM using the console or G-Cloud, your SSH key are generated automatically. But you can also add SSH keys here. So I might want to try that for fun and see if that works. So I'm going to do this for my local machine. I'm going to go ahead and open up VS Code. You have to have a local developer environment. If you don't, you can just kind of skip this part and just kind of watch me here. But, you know, if you have a Linux machine or something like that, you can go ahead and do that. So I want to generate a new SSH key. I used to do RSA, but these days they suggest to do something better. At least GitHub does. Let's take a look and see what they suggest here. So here we have what? So add SSH keys to instance metadata during VM creation. I mean, I'd rather just do it in the console. It should be really straightforward. Add your public key in the text box. The key must be in the following format. Format of the key without an expiration time or with that date. So your SSH key value, it's not specifying what it has to be. Your username, for example, this. So that's kind of interesting that we were setting it there like that. But anyway, it doesn't say what we have to set it as, so I'll do RSA, but there is a more secure way of doing this now. So go ahead and do SSH keygen. You know, I know it's like TSRSA, but like, I need to generate a new SSH key. How do I name the file when naming it? I think it prompts us when we ask. Actually, I'm just going to go for it because I'm pretty sure it asks us. I'm not sure why I'm being so hesitant here. So we'll do SSH keygen, TRSA, and TSRSA is just out of habit. And so it should ask me, but I must have done it wrong. Let's go up here. I don't think anything's wrong, so keygen SSH. We'll go over to here. Yeah, see, this is the one that they usually have. Use with the example of your GitHub address. If you're using a legacy system that doesn't support this, and this is what I don't know if it does support it, so I'm going to go ahead and grab it here. But it looks like I put the flag in correctly. Maybe I did keygen SSH as opposed to SSH keygen. Enter the file in which you want to name the file. So I want to change the name of this. I'm just going to call this GCP. And I'm not going to put a passphrase on there because that's just a headache. I'm going to do ls hyphen here. And so I should see the key here. But I don't see generated. Oh, enter the file in which to save the thing. So I might have actually just generated it right here in this directory here. Yeah, I did. Remove GCP. Okay, that's silly. So I'll try this again. And maybe I'll make a directory here. We'll just say GCP examples. Okay, and that'll make it less of a mess. So I'm going to try this again. And I don't want it there. I want to save it where I am right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and say IDRSA like this. And now if I do this, there it is. So I have it. And what we're going to copy here is the pub. So we'll cat out the pub. And you notice you get this long thing. If we actually were using the new format, it's a lot shorter. I don't know why. I just don't use it. But I just keep thinking that it's not going to work. So because they don't specify like what format it will take, but maybe the new one does work. And so I'm going to paste this in here. And then I'm supposed to put a space. And then I'll just say Andrew Brown as my username here. And we'll go ahead and don't hit add item. Nope. We'll hit that. But it's not complaining about the format. So this should be fine. And so that should be a way for us to get in. There's also the control VM access to IAM permissions. Link VM access to the user and enable OS login. Maybe we'll do that separately in a separate video. But let's just make sure that this thing works with our SSH key. Let's go ahead and create this. Now the SSH port is already open on the firewall for instances. I think that's globally set that for firewalls. As that's spinning up, we'll go take a look just to make sure that we know for certain that that works. So we'll go over to firewalls. Oops, that is not the firewall I want. I wanted this one here. If we look here, we should see 22, right? So allow, allow ingress, right? So we already should be able to do this without issues. And we're going to wait for this machine to be ready. It looks like it's ready. We have different options here. Now, normally I just go with the first option because it's super easy. But this will use the key that is generated and put on the server by Google. I think I would rather, I mean, we could use G Cloud, which is fine, right? See here, it says this, and that's the way to log in. But I want to actually use the SSH key that I generated out. And here it says use another SSH client. So there's different clients you can use. I'm just going to literally use SSH. So now that we have this this key generated out, we're going to SSH in, okay? So it's been a while because I'm so used to using cloud services that kind of do the work for me. I'm going to figure this out. So we need the external IP address. And normally it's SSH, and then it's going to be username. So Andrew Brown at sign, and then the IP address. And then we need to tell it where the key is. So there is a way to specify where the key is, but I don't remember how to do that. So we'll say, if I'm using SSH, how do I tell it where the key is located? There's some kind of flag. I don't know what the flag is anymore. Maybe it's -T? Oh, it's -I. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So we're going to do -I to tell it where it is. And it's going to go to the private key, of course. So I'm going to do -I, and this will be ID RSA, right? And so I'm hoping that this just works. And so this is normal. You give you fingerprint, we'll say yes. And this is permission denied. So I didn't get in, but I'm not sure as to why. So we'll go back over to here and try to figure out why that is. Okay. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure as to why. Because here it says ingress apply to all IP ranges 22, allow, but allow from where? From the default network, right? So it's not necessarily allowing me for my address to connect. So maybe what we need to do is add a firewall rule. So go ahead here and just say my SSH location. And we have this on default. This is ingress. We can specify specific tags so that it's only applied for very specific things. That wouldn't be a bad idea. But here we can specify our source IP. So I'm going to say, what's my IP? We'll go over to here. I hope I get an IPv4 one. I really can't handle IPv6. And this is my IP address. So I'm going to try and do it this way. And so here it's saying, what are we allowing to come in here? So I do this. And I'm going to do /32. That just means exactly one address, my address. And here we can specify specific tags, but basically we're not. We're just going to say, as long as the IP address is here, then it should be able to come through. It's going to allow the SSH port. So we'll say TCP. This is port 22. Yeah, that's port 22. So, and I don't think it's UDP. Yeah, SSH is TCP. SSH is TCP, right? Yes. Yes. Okay. Again, it's been a while since I've had to open a port, which is surprising because I'm always doing stuff. But hey, we'll go ahead and create this rule. It says go to issues. What's the problem? Target tags. Oh, all instances in this network. There we go. So we'll go ahead and create it. And so this should allow my computer from my address to be able to connect, supposedly. The SSH port 25 disallowed. That's fine. I wasn't paying attention, but it did set it to priority of 1,000, so it does take priority over here. And again, we're carefully looking here about where. It says network topology on everything. And I mean, it looks like this one says apply to all. So maybe it's already open, right? We go over to here. Yeah, it's open to the internet. There doesn't seem anything that wouldn't be open here. And down below, we have this external range. So I'm not exactly sure what the problem is. The problem might be that we didn't make this file readable, right? So when you create, maybe it tells us here. When you create an SSH key, do you need to change its permissions? UG-chmod. There is something, I just forget what it is, 422 maybe? Oh, 600, okay. So we'll change this to 600. Oh, that was 422. And we'll try this again. So now we'll go ahead and hit up. Permission denied, but it's not telling us to why. I mean, here we're not really specifying the full path. So I might want to go ahead and just grab this. I just want to make sure that we're giving it the right information. And it's still denied. Okay. So that's not working. What we can do, so I don't think this mattered. We figured this out. This doesn't actually matter. The port's already open. Okay, it's because I read it wrong. So we'll go back over to here. I'm just going to spin down this one here. Delete. And I'm going to go, and I'm going to delete this key here. I'm going to try the other format because the other format is a lot more concise, and there's going to be less chance of like a copy paste kind of issue, which is kind of annoying with the old RSA algorithm here. So I believe this is spinning down, but we'll go ahead and we'll create a new instance here. And this would be my VM instance number 2. This is fine to be an E2. We're going to switch this over to the E2 micro. We're going to go to security, and we're going to look at managed access. Yeah, so everything's fine. We'll also check the networking here. IP forwarding, we don't have to do that. Yeah, so everything is fine here. The only other thing I can think of is that it could be the machine not allowing it, but I don't think that's the case. So what I'm going to do, we're going to go back over to here, and we're going to add another SSH key here. We'll click onto this and see if there's any details here that was additional here. Add an SSH key. So to disable OS login, clear controls. I don't care about to add manually generated one. If you want to add a public SSH key to the project metadata, clear the block project-wide SSH keys. I don't think that was checkbox. That's off. Add your public key to the text box. SSH key, public key, yeah. But again, here it's not telling us the format that we have to use, right? So, and we can go over here and take a look, and this is, I guess, another way for us to add that metadata. I mean, that's a little bit different, but that's fine. So we'll go back up to here again, to the console. And then the username, right? Okay, so we'll go back over to GitHub, and we'll just say, like, SSH keygen. And it's almost always GitHub that tells you how to do it. And so there is this newer one that's like this format. And so we'll give this one a go instead, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and hit enter here. And I actually just want to, again, do this in place. I'm going to control C that. That did not work out very well. So we'll try this again. And here, I'm just going to do this, and we'll say ID ED25519. ED25519. Okay, and we'll do LS. And I just want to cat this out and show you, like, this is, oh, that's my private key. Doesn't matter, I'm going to delete it anyway. But if you look at the public key, look how much shorter it is, right? And actually, it follows it on the end with this. So maybe when I copied it, I copied not only the name of that, but that was another issue. So let's take a close look at the format here to make sure we're not making any mistakes. So here, over here, we go back to here. Under SSH keys, add the item. Add your public key into the text box. The key must be in the following format. Format a key without an expiration date. The thing that's not clear is, like, see how there's a space here and we have this part is 1, 2, 3. How would it know? How would it know? Let's go over to G-Cloud. Let's see what we have. So here it has SSH RSA, right? And then the name. Okay. I wish they would show full examples because it's not clear when they do it that way, right? Your username, for example, is that, or it's this. For the usernames can't be root. Okay. So I don't know. Maybe I'm going to copy it like this. I'm going to just see if I'm going to take off the @del Brown. I'm not going to take that part of it. And I'm going to try to copy it that way. Okay, and we'll try this again. We'll see what happens. So I'm going to go ahead, and now it's technically meeting the format that it wants. We're having no issues here. We'll go ahead and create it. And so now it's just Andrew, and we'll also chmod this to make sure this is correct. So let's say chmod, and oops, we'll just type in ls, and we'll say chmod. What was it before? It was this. And we're going to wait for this to spin up. These VMs spin up pretty quickly, so it's not that big of a deal. There we go. So we're going to grab that external IP address, and we'll try this again. So this is going to be SSH-I. I'm going to try to do just like that in place. Hopefully that works. And we have our IP address, and this will be Andrew at here. Hopefully that works. It has to be the .pub, so make sure it's the .pub. The .pub. Actually, no, it would be the local one. Say yes. It is required that your private key files are not accessible by others. The private key will be ignored. Bad permissions. Okay, so did we not chmod that? Okay. So I'm not exactly sure because we changed it. Maybe it says they're two open. But we just chmodded it. Okay, so what we can do is do an ls-la and take a look here. And we'll try this one more time. I think it changed, right? Did it change? I don't think it did. What if we do 400? Maybe it doesn't know what it's doing. I usually do like 422. Let's try that again. Okay. We'll copy this. We'll ask Claude. This is the problem. When you use LLMs, your brain starts to rot. But we'll go ahead and try this and see what it says. I did that. Chmod. And we'll try this again. Yeah. Right. So I'll go here. It's crazy. Windows File System doesn't support Unix style mods. Oh, am I not in... I don't know if that's the case. Let's see here. The permission fix should resolve the issue you're having immediately here. The permission didn't change because you're working on a Windows file system. Doesn't support Unix style permission, so chmod has no effect. Copy the key to your Linux home directory. Oh, okay. I did not know that. I mean, maybe that's the case. I don't know if that's true or not, but I guess we'll find out. Because that is a mounted directory. That's kind of a weird edge case, right? So we'll go here, and maybe we can just move this entire directory. So let's just say move GCP. Move GCP to our home directory. GCP examples. And then we'll go into that one. And then we'll chmod that again. So, and now we'll do else. There we go. So now it's starting to change it. Excellent. Okay. So now what we can do is we'll just hit up until we get to here. We'll try that again. And now we're in the machine. Okay, so obviously some things here, like there is this edge case with WSL. So if you're using WSL, don't do what I did, right? Make sure it's actually on the Linux machine. But we were able to attach it, and we were able to mangle the name there on the end. So I guess that didn't really matter as much. But yeah, there you go. We're connected to that via SSH. Again, I just normally go here and I just connect this way. I find it the easiest way to connect. But if for whatever reason you need to use SSH keys, there you go. We can type in exit, get out of this machine. So we'll go ahead and we'll spin this down. Okay, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao.